Can you see and do everything at the Universal Orlando Resort in 2 days? Well,
If you're new here, on this channel we talk about all things Halloween, Harry Potter, and theme parks. If that's something you're interested in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
ding! We get comments all the time, such as, hey guys, we're going down for 2 days in June. Do you think we have enough time to ride every ride in both parks? Or something like, hey guys, we're going down for 4 days in August. Do you think we have enough time to see all the shows and ride all the rides? We also get comments like, hey, just a reminder that your car's extended warranty is about to expire. And the answer to all of those questions is, it depends. It depends on what time of year you're going. Depends on whether or not you're going to have Express Pass. Where you're staying, like whether or not you're staying on or off property. There's just so many factors that go into this that we decided we would make a video to try to help you decide how many days you need in the parks. So in today's video, we are going to talk about what you can realistically get done depending on how many days your vacation is.
A lot of people that visit Universal haven't planned their entire vacation around the parks.
Yeah.
Maybe they're coming to Orlando to visit Disney for a few days, or they're driving through on the way to the beach, and they just have one day to spend at Universal. Now, obviously, with some of the recent expansions, you can't see everything that Universal has to offer in just one day. But that doesn't mean that you can't have a great time in the parks. If you budget your time wisely, you'll be surprised just how much you can experience in one day. If you have an Express Pass, or if you're visiting during a slower time, you can absolutely ride every ride at Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure in one day.
Yeah.
Now, you better pack your comfy shoes because you're going to be walking a lot.
You're going to be ouchy.
Yeah,
it's going to hurt.
It's going to be a long day. We've both been there. But if that's all the time that you have in the parks, what we really suggest to do is to make a list of your top 10 must-do things in the parks. So maybe that's rides that you just have to ride. Maybe that's shows you want to see, or even restaurants that you want to eat at. But make that top 10 list and make sure you do those things first so that you don't miss out on any of those.
Yeah, we're not saying that you can only do like those 10 things. You're definitely going to have time for way more than that, but you never want to go on a trip to Universal or anywhere and not do something that you've been looking forward to doing. So we just always suggest making like a list of 10, 15 things that you just have to do to feel like the trip was a success, and make sure you get those out of the way first.
If you're visiting Universal for like a 2-day weekend trip,
which is something that we do quite often,
we would suggest spending one full day in Universal Studios and another day in Islands of Adventure. Now, you're still going to be hard-pressed to experience everything that both parks have to offer.
Yeah, I'm not sure that it's possible. We may do that. We may try to do that at some point, but I don't think it's possible to see every show and do every ride in both parks in just 2 days. You could probably do some combination of the two, like see a lot of the shows and ride some of the rides, or ride every one of the rides and see some of the shows. I just think you'd be hard pressed to do it in 2 days.
I agree. But if you're willing to go from can till can't, or open to close,
It's one of my favorite ones.
you would be really, really surprised with how much you can actually accomplish at the parks.
So if your trip is on the shorter side, one of those 2-day weekend trips, we do still recommend that you prioritize the things that you want to get done in each park. The great thing about a 2-day trip is that you have a full day in each park, and you're more than likely going to get most of the things done in each park. But the problem is there's so many other factors that go into it that you just want to make sure that you never go home and wish that you had done something differently, and that you had experienced something that you didn't get to experience. But it does give you an excuse to come back.
If you have a trip booked for 2 days and you have your heart set on visiting Volcano Bay, we would suggest devoting an entire day to the water park.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not only is Volcano Bay a bus ride away from both studios and Islands of Adventure, we're going to assume that you're going to want to head back to your hotel and change into dry clothes before you head to the other parks.
And there is a lot to do at Volcano Bay.
Yeah.
It's a full day adventure.
Right.
And I don't know about you, but when we go to like a water park or the lake or anything that has like any kind of water activities, we are drained at the end of that day.
Yeah.
And I don't even want to deal with another park. I just want to go back to the hotel and crash.
Yeah, so then we would suggest splitting your second day between Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure. When you get to that 3-day vacation, that's where you really start to feel like you have a decent amount of time in the parks.
Yeah. Like I said, we take a lot of 2-day trips, but we do take a fair amount of 3-day trips.
Yeah.
And I always feel more like satisfied when we get back home after a 3-day trip.
So when you have 3 full days to spend in the park, especially if you're just going to focus on Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure, you can accomplish close to everything in that 3-day time span.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to, obviously, I mean, I think you should be able to, but you're not going to be able to eat at every restaurant. But you can probably, we haven't done it, so I'm not going to say it's, 100%. I would say you have adequate time to see every show and ride every ride if you have 3 days.
Absolutely. Those would be 3 long days if you decided to do
Yeah.
that. But if you are adamant about visiting Volcano Bay while you're there as well, we would suggest having, 1 full day for each theme park, and you're just definitely not going to be able to hit every single thing at every park in 1 day. If you're enjoying this video and it's helping you plan your Universal vacation, consider hitting that thumbs up button. Not only does it let us know that you're enjoying our videos, but it also helps us get out to more people that are trying to plan their Universal vacation. When you get to that 4 to 5 day vacation length, that's where it gets to the point where you can really tailor your vacation to you and what you want to do.
Yeah, you've got a lot of time.
Yeah.
You've got time to not just kill yourself. I'm not saying you can't, because if you're like us, it really doesn't matter the length of vacation.
No.
We are just like, can till can't. And by the end of it, our feet are,
Oh, God.
I mean, they are so, like, we get back to the hotel at night and you're just like, oh, oh, oh. When you sit down on the bed, you're just, oh, this feels so good.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, like, we really, we tax our feet pretty
We do,
hard.
yeah.
But that 4 to 5 day mark gives you time to relax. Go to the park for a few hours, go to the hotel, enjoy the pool, and then go back to the parks. You don't have to go all out.
Yeah, so when your trip is this long, you really get a chance to experience what your resort has to offer, which all of the pools at the on-site hotels are awesome.
Yes.
And you also get a chance to experience City Walk. So you can have a nice sit-down dinner. You can make dinner reservations and not feel like, oh my gosh, I'm missing out on an hour and a half at the parks before they close, and almost feel guilty like you would if you only had a 2-day trip.
Yeah.
So this is a really nice length of vacation to not only experience what the parks have to offer, but do it in a way that's more enjoyable.
Yeah.
This is also what we would recommend for families, especially if you have small children, because if you're splitting that 4 to 5 days between the 2 parks, you have plenty of time to head back to the hotel in the afternoon and take a nap so that you don't experience that dreaded 4 o'clock toddler meltdown that we've all been lucky enough to witness.
Oh yeah, I've seen some people like zombies. We've mentioned it in other parks. Zombies walking out of the park, and sometimes it's like 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're like, whoa, we're at Universal. How has your day been that bad? Mama, my feet hurt. I don't care. Get up. Pick it up. Pick up the cotton candy. Mama, my hands hurt. Get up.
If you do have the luxury of visiting Universal for more than 5 days,
Lucky.
you do have enough time to experience pretty much everything that Universal has to offer.
Yeah, keep in mind, Universal is home to 3 different theme parks for now that house over 50 different attractions, almost 30 character experiences and shows, as well as dozens and dozens of restaurants. So it is almost impossible to do everything in just one vacation,
Yeah.
even if it's a week. But the great thing about a week is you do get to do everything that you want to do. A
Yeah.
week vacation, you are going to get to do anything and everything that your heart desires.
Yeah.
With that being said, doing everything is not, it's not really in the books as many times as we've been, which is like the gap between Anna's score and my score in MIB. Everybody knows I'm exaggerating because nothing is that high. Nobody's been that many times. But you can, like, there's just things that you're not going to want to do. We haven't experienced everything that the parks have to offer.
Right.
And it's more by choice than anything. We've had plenty of time to do it. But the fact is, you'll get down there and you will change your attitude towards that. Like, we're just not completionists. Like, it's not like a goal to do everything.
No.
We have found what we enjoy, and that's what you should do. Spend your vacations doing what you enjoy.
Now, there are other factors to take into consideration when thinking about how much you can get done in a certain amount of time.
Oh, yeah.
If you're only visiting the parks for 1 or 2 days, we would recommend purchasing an express pass.
Yeah, and we don't like telling you, hey, like, spend this bunch of money.
Right.
But if you can budget it and, like, if you can afford it, it really does make your experience exponentially better.
Yes, we are kind of set on the express pass at this
we
point.
got spoiled with it, and now it's just like, oh, we can't go back.
But if you do purchase that express pass, it can save you a lot of time in the
Yes.
ride queues. But at the same time, if what you're more concerned with is watching a lot of the shows,
Yeah.
the express pass isn't going to make the show
not
go
set
by.
up for that.
No, it's not going to make it go by faster. So you still have to prioritize what you really care about experiencing.
That is a actually great idea. Let's get an express pass for the food. Like, I'm all in. Like
I get to the front of the line.
Charge me double. So one of the biggest factors in determining how many days you need is going to be when you visit. If you visit during peak times, obviously it's going to be busy. You're going to need like either that express pass or you're going to need more days to get everything that you want to get done. But there is some counterparts to this. Like the parks are open longer during peak season.
Right.
Like the last time that we were there, they were open from like 7 in the morning to 10 at night. That's a long time to be in the parks, and it's a long time to do things. On the other side of the coin, you can go down there during non-peak season, and I mean, seriously, we've been down there. We've been very fortunate. We've been down there at times where I could have like a churro in each hand and just start spinning and not hit anybody. And then like I could throw the churro and not hit anybody. And it's been fantastic. But the parks are open for a much shorter period of time.
Yeah.
I think we were down there one time where the parks didn't open until like 9 and they closed at like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, so it's kind of it's a trade-off. Like if you go during peak season, yeah, it's busy, but the parks are open so much longer that you can probably get just as much done, but you're in the parks for a lot less time.
Right. Another potential issue that you can run into is weather.
Yes.
So, although Florida is known as the Sunshine State, during certain times of the year, it rains almost daily.
Yeah, and a lot of times that rain only lasts 10 or 15 minutes.
Right.
But it does shut rides down. They and then they have to do their like restart protocols and things like that. So it can really delay, even if it only lasts 10, 15 minutes, you've got to worry about reoccurring rain showers.
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of things that it can throw a wrench into.
Yes. And aside from just the rain and storms themselves, some of the taller rides like Hulk and Rip Ride Rocket can sometimes be closed.
Velocicoaster soon.
Can sometimes be closed because of excessive wind.
Yeah.
So if you plan for a longer vacation, if you have more days in the park, it kind of gives you some extra time to deal with some of those inclement weather conditions if they happen while you're down there.
Yeah, and it's not only inclement weather that can keep you from doing everything. The heat in Florida.
Yeah.
Like, you can be in great shape, you can do whatever, but sometimes that heat's just unbearable, and you
Mm-hmm.
just can't. Going as hard as you can
Mm-hmm.
from open to close for 5 or 6 days probably isn't necessarily healthy.
No.
So it's not only rain and wind that you have to worry about, it's the heat because it can get brutally
Mm-hmm.
hot. All right, guys, that wraps up today's video. Let us know in the comment section what you think the perfect length of vacation is to Universal Studios.
If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. You can hit that subscribe button and turn on that bell notification so you get an alert every time we post a new video.
3 days. Thanks for watching.